Imagine standing in the heart of New York City, where every second, thousands of people from around the world pass through Times Square. Bright lights, towering billboards, the rush of ambition. It's a place where dreams either burn out or burn brighter. Now, picture this. A man who once worked as a street vendor in New York, selling jewelry out of a small kiosk, would one day place his creations inside those very glowing towers of ambition. A man from Tashkent, Uzbekistan, who transformed his name, Jacob Arabo, into Jacob & Company, one of the most daring and luxurious watch and jewelry brands in the world. This isn't just the story of luxury. It's the story of hustle, reinvention, and a gamble on imagination that paid off big. But how does someone go from a modest immigrant background to adorning the wrists of billionaires, rappers, and royalty? Let's rewind. Jacob Arabo was born in 1964 in Tashkent, then part of the Soviet Union. Life in Soviet Uzbekistan wasn't glamorous. His family lived simply like millions of others. But Jacob had a knack for design from an early age, sketching, crafting, and dreaming in ways that went far beyond what the streets of Tashkent could offer him. At 14, he and his family immigrated to the United States, landing in Queens, New York. Like so many immigrant families, survival came first. And survival in New York during the late 70s meant hustling. But hustle alone doesn't explain Jacob's rise. His obsession with craft did. By the time he was 16, he enrolled in a jewelry-making course in Manhattan. Picture that. While other teenagers were hanging out in arcades or listening to disco records, Jacob was learning to bend gold, cut stones, and bring visions to life. He didn't finish high school. Instead, he poured every ounce of energy into mastering a trade that very few people at that age could even understand. By 17, Jacob was working full-time in the industry. And here's where the story shifts. Most jewelers back then followed a conservative, traditional formula. Diamonds were cut and mounted the same way, over and over again. But Jacob wasn't interested in tradition for tradition's sake. He wanted to create pieces that were loud, expressive, even theatrical, jewelry that didn't just sparkle but scream personality. His first big break? The streets of New York City. Jacob opened a small kiosk in the Diamond District. It was tiny, unassuming, and yet it became the testing ground for his creative risks. Customers started noticing that Jacob's designs were unlike anything else. Flashier, more intricate, and unapologetically bold. His jewelry didn't just belong in showcases. It belonged in music videos, red carpets, and private collections. And right around this time, hip-hop was exploding. Artists like Biggie Smalls, Jay-Z, and later, 50 Cent were rewriting American culture. Their sound was disruptive, their style was rebellious, and their appetite for luxury was unlike anything before. Jacob's jewelry was a perfect fit. Before long, Jacob earned the nickname Jacob the Jeweler. His pieces became status symbols in rap culture. Iced-out watches, oversized diamond pendants, and custom designs that told the world exactly how far these artists had come. But Jacob didn't stop at jewelry. He saw another canvas, time itself. In 2002, Jacob & Company released its first watch collection. Now, understand this. Entering the world of Swiss luxury watches is like entering the NFL without ever playing college football. The industry is old, guarded, and skeptical of outsiders. Yet, Jacob dared to challenge centuries of Swiss tradition. His first breakthrough timepiece was the 5-time zone watch. Imagine one watch face displaying New York, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Paris, and your local time all at once. Bold, colorful, oversized. It wasn't just practical, it was playful, an instant hit among celebrities and travelers. Stars like Naomi Campbell and David Beckham wore it, turning Jacob's creation into a global conversation piece. But if the 5-time zone watch opened the door, the Astronomia collection kicked it wide open. Picture a watch that doesn't just tell time, but turns your wrist into a miniature universe. The Astronomia features rotating globes, spinning diamonds, and mechanisms so complex they look like something out of science fiction film. This wasn't just watchmaking, it was theater, a wristbound spectacle that redefined what luxury could be. And it wasn't only rappers and athletes anymore. Royalty, business magnates, and Hollywood icons joined the roster of Jacob's clientele. People weren't just buying jewelry or watches. They were buying a piece of his imagination. Of course, no great story comes without turbulence. Jacob faced legal troubles in the mid-2000s, including a prison sentence that could have ended his career. For most, that would have been the final chapter. But Jacob treated it like a reset button. After serving his time, he returned with even bolder designs, doubling down on his mission to shock and inspire the luxury world. Today, Jacob & Company stands as one of the most unique brands in high luxury. Its headquarters sit in Manhattan, while its watches are crafted in Geneva, the beating heart of Swiss watchmaking. And yet, the brand has never lost its New York swagger. Whether it's the billionaire watch, dripping with 260 carats of diamonds and worn by Floyd Mayweather, or collaborations with brands like Bugatti, featuring mini-engine replicas inside the watch itself, Jacob & Company continues to blur the line between artistry and extravagance. From Tashkent's quiet streets to Times Square's blinding lights, Jacob Arabo's journey is proof that vision can take you places that tradition never will. He didn't just build a company, he built a dream factory, one audacious creation at a time. And as you look up at those flashing towers in Times Square, remember this. Sometimes the brightest lights belong not to the billboards, but to the dreamers who dared to imagine something greater.